Hey guys, welcome back to FurnaceClans. So I was incorrect. Apparently, dwarves can come back from a 0 happiness. I had not seen that happen prior, but apparently it's possible. You'll notice here, 002, he used to be a 0. Now he's down to 22. Moses is still looking for a fist fight. She's at 13. But I figured I'd share that. I was incorrect on that. So hopefully we can recover Vukar there too. So I decided to jump the gun a little bit on this. I've already popped up the bridge. Helps if I hit the right buttons. And I forbid everything that was over here on the right. There's only a couple of little bits left. I've sealed up the tower. And I just gave them... Come on. And I just gave them the order to open up the bridges that are currently surrounding the traders. Which is up here. So all of these bridges are down now, and now they're exposed. When these guys decide to die off and or leave, they will hopefully path up here to the OMG and get themselves destroyed that way. But we shall see what happens. The miasma is still kicking butt, and we'll just have to wait for everything there to rot away before we can actually get back in there and do anything with it. Oh no, this is curious. The merchants have just embarked on their journey, so they've left the map. The Marksdorf that came with them, though, however, is just kind of hanging out up there. I'm not sure where he thinks he's going. But if we take a look at others, they're gone. So even though they were miserable and depressed and whatnot, they actually left for me. So, 2 less corpses to deal with. So continuing with our monitoring of happiness levels, if we take a look, Vukar has finally come off 0. 042 dropped to 0, which is a dwarven baby. I believe that's the one that Moses is carrying. We'll double check in a second. Moses has slid from 13 to 2. She's not able to start a fist fight with anybody, so she's relatively upset. Let me go double check. Yep, there you are. 032 is the baby. 042 is the miserable baby. So she's got 032 sitting next to her, and 042 is her baby. He's probably not being fed, that's why it's probably miserable. Although why babies even know they have siblings, that's a different story. But she's surrounded by her children and some random stuff right now, so I think she's gonna go blip, and we're just gonna lose her. Another one of the original 7. Yeesh. As expected, Moses has gone miserable. She's zeroed out. She's still trying to start her fist fight and can't. She's starting to get hungry though, so I'm hoping that eventually she'll move off her food, go through the waterfall, and maybe get cheered up. We'll see what happens. Hey, talk about freaking me out. I forgot this was all red sand. And I look over it, and I thought this was this giant pool of blood. I thought Moses had come over and, like, slaughtered 5 of her children or something like that. She just ripped up the road. She's still miserable. She's moving into the fort now. We're going to have to rebuild that road. Paved road. I forget what I built this with. I think it was oh, I forget. We'll just build it with diorite. So we'll just put that road back in. But yeah, that was a fun little freak out for a second. I thought she had just murdered all her children or something after she hit 0. So here she goes. Moses is finally losing it. She just went after our crafts dwarf, Erush, and knocked his ass out. He's unconscious down here in the stone bin. Where are you, girl? Now she's gone to eat. She's still miserable. But now she's down in the kindergarten area, actually. You know what? I wonder if we've got justice now. Nope. Well, Arusha will be whining here shortly. I'm surprised she didn't enjoy that. Oh, that was the child. My bad. Miserable, wonderful bridge. Enjoyed throwing something. Well, maybe. I doubt it. I think she's gone. This boy's banged up. Oh, no. Okay, he's up again. See if he dragged himself off to the hospital or something. No. Alright. What do we got going on over here? Oh, yeah, we do. Irish is pretty banged up. Let's check his health. Ooh, wow, okay. She broke his foot. How uncool. Now, Irish was one of the ones who already was feeling pretty lousy about life. He was in the dark red earlier. So now he's bright red. We've still got a pretty decent striation of happiness, though. See, the majority are in the brown. These are the guys that are going to start getting set off here soon, if this continues. The baby's lost. There's almost no way to recover that without Moses recovering, because the baby's attached to Moses. Vukar is her husband, actually, if we take a look at relationships. His wife is Moses, so when Moses goes, Vukar's going to snap right behind her. Irish, if I look, his mother is Moses, his father is Vukar. That's going to end horribly poorly. So mom just beat her son up because, well, might as well keep it in the family. Hey, what do you know? Moses finally got off 0. Let's take a look. She dined in a fantastic dining room. She threw something. She threw a tantrum. She beat somebody up. She was just attending a meeting. Oh, no, she's on her way to it now, so she's going to go yell at somebody. How's the baby doing? The baby's still miserable, but hopefully that will get fixed up here soon enough. Baby can't do much on its own, usually. So she's off to yell at somebody. But maybe, just maybe, that will recover. Here's hoping. I did, however, just do something which may be the reason that she cheered up. She's got a demand here for an electrum throne in her dining room. She's one of the people who were getting swapped back and forth for mayor, so she's got her own room set up here. And I decided to put in an electrum throne. It's not there yet, so it shouldn't have cheered her up. But who knows? Maybe it did. So the power of nobles. After throwing her tantrum and going and yelling at, I think it was the sheriff actually, or the captain of the guard, Moses is now up to her 35. She's actually gotten up over her son, who is still at 22, and her husband, who's sitting down here at 17. So hopefully we can finally start recovering this. I know I've been giving you guys a lot of detail about the happiness changes, but I'm figuring it doesn't hurt to see what happens at the edge of a spiral, because I know a lot of spirals that once they start, they fly away from most players. And they can be recovered. It's just a fine balancing act. It's a knife edge sometimes. So my issues just started to be compounded by something. Everybody was getting happier in general, but I noticed that I'm starting to get a fade here. If I come in, oh, not this guy. Let me see. I think it was Morule. Upset to be wearing old clothing lately, which tells me that there's some stockpile shortages. He was cried on by an unhappy citizen recently, so this spiral's still trying to continue. We're just trying to hold off on the very edge of it, which is why I'm not letting them go outside. I'm making sure they don't get into snowstorms, any of that. I've got a number of them in the middle of dealing with the tree farm. We've got a series of cloth builds, and I'll actually set that up with some more silk as well. Let's cue silk trousers. This way they can get their preference for material. And this stockpile here is my cloth stockpile. But it's hard to keep track of what's being worn, what's not being worn, who has what, what's going on. So we'll just make sure that they get some fresh clothing and everybody's happy. So just to show you guys, with some new clothes and enough happiness going around the fort, we've even managed to pull the baby out of the complete danger zone. Vukar and Moses and them are much happier. They're in that content range. 039 and 042 are babies. They're tough to please, but they're getting there. And if we just take a quick look at Justice, we're going to find out if... No, we don't have to put her in for the fist fight. So we're good. And that should pull us out of that spiral. We're just going to let things kind of calm down, heal up, things of that nature. Well, there might be a reason why Justice isn't set up yet. Erish is still stuck in the hospital. Take a look at his health here. Overlapping fractures, he's been smashed apart, it's been sutured. He needs traction and immobilization. We're just waiting for folks to come and give him a hand with that. He's actually got to be put into one of the traction systems, which are set up, as far as I know. We've got 3 traction benches. Doors aren't locked, so somebody will just have to move them at some point. What do we got here? Off to diagnose our patient again. So we shall see what happens. But looks like FurnaceClans is going to pull out of that steep dive into the mountains. Oof, that was getting a little close.